Welcome back to Blaugrana Planet. Welcome back to a new video. Today, very deceived. Very deceived. Extremely deceived, I'd say. Sad. Because Real Madrid, they have shown their reality. They have shown how malicious, how without a heart, they try to manipulate yet again, with a disgraceful video, guys. A video which they reposted, or they posted actually, on their Twitter account, the Spanish Twitter account, and actually today they also posted it in English in their Twitter Real Madrid account. Basically, trying to rewrite history. We know, and if you guys don't know, well, Spain went through a dictatorship and a civil war. A dictatorship that lasted 36 years. 36 years between the years 1939 and 1975. The dictatorship under Franco, General Franco, and this is what we call the regime. The regime, and in fact, that's what Laporta made reference about yesterday in his declarations, that Real Madrid is the club of the regime and has always been the club of the regime. And in fact, this is something that everybody knows, that literally everybody knows. And even here in Catalonia, we of course all say it in private, and everybody knows that Madrid is the first state club in the world, or at least in Europe, or at least in the 5 big European countries, because probably there's so many little countries, who knows. But 5 most important leagues in the world. I said countries, no, leagues in the world. Well, it's the first state club in the world, Real Madrid. Everybody knows. The government has always been towards Real Madrid. Even the king supports Real Madrid. Of course, Franco supported Real Madrid. And they released a video, which was a reply, basically a reply to the words of Joan Laporta, which was very deceiving in my point of view. And this video literally claims or asks in a rhetorical way, which is the club of the regime, right? Because Laporta said it's Real Madrid. Well, they make an open question there in this video. They begin the video saying which is the club of the regime, and they continuously show a few images of the Camp Nou being inaugurated by Franco, which is true. It was inaugurated by Franco because, in fact, the stadium was built under the dictatorship of Franco, of this malicious guy, I'd say, because you know how a dictatorship is, right? I mean, there was a civil war, there was people for him, and there was people against him. And you know what happens in a dictatorship? You get killed. You get killed if you're against this person, or you get abused, you get in jail, okay? Not specifically everybody gets killed, but there is a war, okay? So basically, after the war, the civil war happened, Franco and company won the war, you know? By the way, Franco was friends with Hitler. Let me tell you that. Franco was friends with Hitler. Just that. In fact, you know why the Nazis didn't get to Spain? Because Franco was here. Because Franco was here and he destroyed everything that Hitler wanted to destroy. Okay? But that's another topic. I'm talking about the video here. And later we're going to talk about the facts here, the factos, because I want to talk about the facts as well, and how Barça suffered against Franco and all of this. But first I want to talk about the video, because they say, okay, Camp Nou was inaugurated by Franco, of course under repression, under big pressures. Barça presented Franco with gold medals, literally these gold medals. One of them was presented by a president who just won a title, and literally took off one of the pins from his jacket, one of the former presidents of Barcelona, and gave it to Franco. It wasn't really like an official thing. And other 2 medals, which I don't give any importance to, because they were all under the regime of the dictatorship. You understand? You are afraid. You cannot say no to these people. Then they say that Franco was named a honorary member of the club, which is fake. By the way, it's fake. If you look at the archive of members of the club, the official archive, he is not there and he has never been there. Okay, it's fake. Even there was been confirmations from journalists here in Catalonia, and they say that that Franco was saved bankruptcy. Franco saved Barcelona from bankruptcy. Well, this is very hypothetical, because they say through requalification of lands. Basically, before Camp Nou, Barcelona had another stadium. Okay, Barcelona had another stadium, and in this stadium there were problems because, fights between Barça and Espanyol, it was getting small. And in fact, the directives of that era of Football Club Barcelona managed to get the requalification of a few areas of land in which the Camp Nou is built right now. If you don't know what the requalification is basically when the mayor of a city basically says, okay, this area we're going to build a park, a green park, for example, or a theme park, or whatever, or a hospital. Okay, well, in this case, Barcelona tried to say, okay, instead of building a park, with trees and stuff, maybe we can build a stadium. And in fact, they did get the requalification, but this requalification was done through the mayor of Barcelona. But of course, because you have Franco, which is the dictator and has to be the ruler of everything, he had to allow it. But guess what? This guy wasn't really focused on allowing this crap, He had too many other things to think about. But yet they try to lie, these people, and to make it seem like, no, Franco purposely gave Barcelona this requalification of this land to build the Camp Nou. Well, I can tell you, guys, I've made the investigation. I can tell you it's literally tort news. By that, I mean that it's not specifically directly the intention of Franco to save Barcelona. Okay, he made hundreds or thousands of requalifications throughout his dictatorship, and it wasn't even him allowing them. He just put the signature to the paper, because everything had to be signed by him. Okay, therefore, just to close it down, this video, they act as victims at the end of the video, saying, oh, the dictatorship affected very much to Real Madrid. At some point it disappeared. Of course, because they're in the middle of the war. They're bombarding everywhere. And of course you almost disappear, because everybody almost disappeared after this war. So stupid. So they claim that and then they finish up with the question, well, who is the club of the regime? Who is the club of the regime after you saw all this manipulation and 4 minutes of crap? And they just leave it out there. They're basically opening the box of the dictatorship era, and basically they're playing a nasty game. Let them play the nasty game, because of course they're the ones in the side of Franco. Okay, because Franco is a big supporter of Real Madrid. And now I want to tell you the story, guys. I want to tell you the story of actually one of the biggest stories in regards Barcelona under Franco. Okay, and I want to start with well, this is Franco himself sitting, in fact, in one of the stadiums. This is the players here. They were forced to do the symbol, to do this hand gesture before the final of their cup, the Generalissimo Cup, because this guy even had a cup, like if you have the King's Cup now, well, they had the Generalissimo Cup, which was the Franco's Cup. So he was forced, the clubs were forced to do that. In fact, this is Barcelona here and Athletic Club de Bilbao doing this symbol. Of course, if you don't do it, you cannot play the game. I want to talk about Josep Sunyol. Josep Sunyol was the president of Football Club Barcelona. I think it was in the 1930s, 39 or 30 or 1940s. Unfortunately, Josep Sunyol, which was a good president for Football Club Barcelona, he was traveling to Madrid by his car, and he had 50,000 pesetas, which was the coin, the currency back then, Mr. Josep Sunyol, the president, the actual president of Football Club Barcelona at that time, he was traveling with his car to Madrid, in fact, with 50,000 pesetas, and he encountered basically a military front of Franco's military front, okay? So a front which, with no doubt, with no questions, they got Josep Sunyol and they got the colleagues that Josep Sunyol was traveling with, and they literally shot all of them. They killed all of them. No words, no asking, they just killed all of them. In fact, Josep Sunyol was traveling with the money. He was traveling with the money to sign some Oviedo players, Real Oviedo players, which is a historical club in Spain. He was traveling to sign some players, but yet he got shot. He got killed. The president of Football Club Barcelona by the regime of Franco. Of course, Josep Sunyol was a very good president. Here you can see him in the middle. There is his graveyard. Unfortunately, his grave. Unfortunately, some bastards vandalized the grave, but I think they cleared it up. I want to also talk about other things, because not only Josep Sunyol was prosecuted and in fact killed, but also Nicola Casaus, who was then a vice president of Football Club Barcelona, who fortunately managed to escape. But in fact, Nicola Casaus, former vice president of Barcelona, was in fact condemned to death, the death penalty. This guy managed to escape, and eventually there's a happy ending story. Of course, he died peacefully, I think in 2007. Nicola Casaus was one of the vice presidents that helped Maradona come to Barcelona. Okay, so he helped the club to get Maradona. So happy ending for Nicola Casaus. Therefore, I want to keep on talking, and I want to talk about other scandals. Scandals like the 11-1. Basically, there was a game, guys, in which Barcelona, I'm sorry about skipping the pictures, but we'll go back. There was a semi-final of the Generalissimo Cup. Okay, I forgot the year. I think on my Twitter I made the thread. I talk about the year exactly. There was a very big result. Barcelona lost against Real Madrid in their stadium. 1-11. 1-11. And this was the second leg of the Generalissimos Cup semi-final. Guess what happened in the first leg? In the first leg, which was played, in fact, and this is the picture of the first leg. This is the picture of the first leg. The first leg was played in the stadium of Les Corts, which was the previous stadium before Camp Nou. The first game, the first leg, and Barcelona won 3-0. We won, we dominated, we won 3-0 against these people. Yet in the second leg, how can it be that we lose 11-1? If we beat them 3-0, we are far superior, right? Well, there was even the news, they say, oh, extraordinary game with a super Real Madrid, blah, 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 blah. Well, I'll tell you what happened. Before the game, guys, there was political police, who came into the dressing room of Football Club Barcelona, political police squad led by a count that was linked to the Gestapo, okay, linked to the Gestapo, entered into the dressing room of Barça players and intimidated all of the Barça players with threats and even weapons. Who knows what happened in that dressing room? Who knows? Even during that match, guys, there were fans throwing stones to the Barcelona keeper. There were Real Madrid fans, of course it was in the Real Madrid stadium, throwing stones during the game to the Barcelona keeper. And not only that, is that they had given whistles at the entrance, so they could whistle all of them when Barcelona had the possession. Imagine, guys, a political police squad entering the Barcelona dressing room and threatening the players with their guns. Of course, course, the game ended how it ended. 11 goals to 1. Imagine the situation. And this, guys, and I'm just talking about a few scandals, because it's actually 36 years of dictatorship. 36 years of dictatorship. They also say, guys, these people, this video of Real Madrid, it also says that, Barcelona won many titles during the era. I mean, 36 years. Barcelona was one of the best teams in Spain. Of course, you win titles. Not Real Madrid won more titles, many more titles. Okay, less leagues, less league titles, but many more titles, including those 5 European Cups that they won in a row. In fact, six, but they won 5 in a row. 5 in a row. How can you win 5 in a row? There's proof, guys. There's proof that these guys, and there's video proof, that these guys were getting the most favorable calls in the world. In the world. And remember, guys, what I said at the beginning, and in fact, I'm going to have to leave very soon because I have a date. But anyways, that's another topic. Guys, it is proven, and as I said at the beginning of the video, is that Real Madrid is the biggest and the first state club in the world. Okay, forget about the Qatari state clubs. No. The dictatorship state clubs are another level. They are another level. By the way, I see the AC Milan fan. Please, I appreciate your comments, but don't spam the chat, please. Don't spam the chat. Therefore, as you can see, guys, you can imagine the situation here a bit. I want to talk now about the story of Kubala. The story of Kubala and Di Stéfano. In fact, Kubala, a player that was escaping the Hungarian war and arrived to Barcelona. Barcelona signed Kubala. Well, Real Madrid made the impossible to attempt to frustrate the signing of Kubala. Kubala eventually managed to sign for Barcelona, but they even tried to close the borders of Spain, so Kubala couldn't get here. Eventually, we baptized Kubala, and in some way, this Catholic government allowed us to play Kubala. Kubala eventually went to be one of the best players and most historic players in the world, and of Football Club Barcelona, of course. And if you recognize this picture was the base of the statue that Kubala has just outside Camp Nou. Talking about Di Stéfano, you probably know Di Stéfano, legend of Real Madrid, right? Oh, super legend of Real Madrid. He was even given the Super Ballon d'Or. Well, let me tell you, Di Stéfano, Barcelona was very close to signing Di Stéfano. In fact, they made the first move to sign Di Stéfano, and they bought some rights to Di Stéfano. Real Madrid also bought some rights. So basically, it was like, okay, Barca has 50% of Di Stéfano, Real Madrid has the other 50% kind of thing. So they had to make a deal. But how can you make a deal? How can you make a deal? Well, I'll tell you how the deal went through. There was a judge that was assigned, one only judge, not many judges, not a group of judges and they get a consensus. No, one judge to decide whether Di Stéfano would go to Barcelona or Madrid. Guess who this judge was? Well, he was a Falangist. Falangist is basically part of Franco supporter. Okay, he was on that side of the civil war and all that stuff. Guess what he did? He forced an agreement between clubs to lend out or to give the rights that Barcelona had to Real Madrid for 4 million pesetas, which is literally nothing. Di Stéfano went on to win those famous five European Cups, and I'm sorry about the image not fitting the schedule here exactly, but whatever. Di Stéfano went on to win all these Super Cups, all this crap. Of course, most of them were stolen, but whatever. This is another topic, we'll talk about it another day. And this is a picture, in fact, of Di Stéfano playing for Barcelona, because Di Stéfano actually played a few games for Barcelona, playing with Kubala. It's not something that I'm inventing, so I'm just talking facts here. Therefore, the little resume here I wanted to make is that, there is a lot of suffering in a civil war. There is a lot of suffering. And certainly Barcelona, Football Club Barcelona has suffered a lot during these years. And it's a little bit of an insult, and it's very malicious, the fact that these people, Real Madrid, have the guts of just like dropping out a video like that. It's very malicious. I just don't understand it, and but I can see how bad of these people are, and how much they don't give a shit. So I would like to thank everybody for joining. A little bit of a long video, but I gotta go. Thank you everybody for joining. You guys are great. I hope this video helped you to understand everything. I know other YouTubers couldn't explain it, and with no pun intended, is that they couldn't explain it because they don't know it. They don't know it, and they don't know what it is all about. Okay? Here, fortunately or unfortunately, we talk the facts. Therefore, if you want to support the channel, I'll be very, very happy. Smash that like, subscribe to the channel, and now, of course, see the other videos. Yesterday, I made a little resume of Laporta's speech, and I'm sure that you'll like it. So, thank you, everybody. Make sure to smash the subscribe button, the like button, and now, and as I always say, Visca el Barça, Visca Catalunya, and see you in the next video. Vamos.